Good, everybody. Let me readjust that. It's your boy Mikhail Casanova coming at you with yet another episode of Joyride. It's a swagnificent one here. And man, this Monday is a beautiful day, man. We had a fantastic weekend. It's the first time since actually my wife and I's wedding we've actually had both Saturday and Sunday off together. So definitely had to live that up and enjoy that. Some great things happened over this weekend. You know, your boy Mikhail Casanova, Hawaii's favorite YouTuber and R&B singer, was posted up at my homeboy's futuristic concert. So if y'all got to check it out, if y'all were out here in Honolulu, I hope y'all were able to make it out to the best concert of the year, and in my opinion the best concert that's ever came out here in Hawaii. Well, for hip-hop, that is. I know a lot of people can debate that and say the Kevin Gates concert was fire, but I'm not one of those who actually thinks that concert was all that great. I was there, but then again, I'm not a Kevin Gates fan, so that can play a factor in that. You know, people out here in these streets wilding right now. Yo, we can't be playing chicken in cars. Y'all know what I mean? Anyway, let me get back to what this episode of Joyride is back about. See, I stuttered on my words there for a second. All right, so let's talk about a game that is getting rave reviews, but when it was announced and people seen it, they were crapping all over it, saying it was gonna be a flop. And that game is Sonic Mania. Now, I think it's just funny how all these people were just saying how it was just gonna be a flop. It's gonna be terrible. It's just another bad Sonic game. And let's talk about that. Sonic hasn't had a good game in quite a long time. Sonic Colors is definitely one of them. What is it? Sonic, there's another game. I personally like Sonic Colors. A lot of people can debate me on that, saying it wasn't that good, but I thought it was good. There was another Sonic game, I can't think of the name of it. If y'all know what I'm talking about, it's the one where you had the old Sonic and the new Sonic. Sonic Generations, that was the one. I think those are arguably two of the best ones that came out. But yeah, Sega hasn't had much success with getting Sonic any good titles, and I think it would have been cool to have, and I know the reason this hasn't happened is because Sonic appears on quite a number of platforms, and Nintendo is not going to let any of their IPs appear on anything else. So I was personally thinking it would have been cool if, you know, Sega allowed Nintendo to make a Sonic game, because I think Nintendo could make a phenomenal Sonic game and just get it up there in the upper echelons of where, you know, Mario is. Because if y'all are from, I mean, I know most of the gamers now they were born from 97 and after, so a lot of y'all weren't around for the great console war of Nintendo and Sega back when they were like clapping back at each other so damn hard, man. You had to just stay up. We had people talking about freaking blast processing and, you know, the VFX chips and all this other stuff, man. We had terms that make absolutely no sense. People, you know, somebody in the marketing team was like, yo, fuck it. We just need to come up with something that sounds hella cool and it's rad. And if y'all think the term rad is corny, back in the 90s, even the 80s, rad was the word to use to describe cool. But yeah, like back in the day, man, we had people that they were coming up with some crazy names. But gaming I mean, you had some of the, it's not like today where you get a multi-class on everything and, you know, you got a difference in graphics and performance and blah blah blah. I mean, yeah, that was different variants of graphics, because sometimes you would get a game that looks and plays better on the Genesis. Sometimes it looked and played better on the SNES. But there was, I mean, that was a term. You had people back then that were die hard Sega or not, Nintendo or not. Like, people wasn't trying to fool with the Jaguar. They wasn't trying to fool with the 3DO or the TurboGrafx 16, even though that had a couple gems on that. That joint was fire with the Ninja Gaiden, the reimagining of Ninja Gaiden 1, the reimagining of Double Dragon 2, and Castlevania Rondo of Blood. Yeah, people back then, there was a lot of consoles that came out, but you really picked two of them. It was actually, if we want to be real technical, we can go so far as to say that there are three consoles that survived that generation. And that would be the Neo Geo, AVS and MVS platforms. There would also be the Sega Genesis, which in a way it kind of failed, but it succeeded. The only reason that I feel like the Genesis failed was because they made too many add-ons. You had the 32X, you had the Sega CD. It was just too much. And then, you know, if anyone wants to talk about modularity in design, Sega actually came up with that. You got to give them that. They had the first modular console. And then the Super Nintendo, those were the three winners of that generation, with SNES being one, Sega being two, with the Genesis, and people wilding in the streets. Yo, chill the fuck out. It's not that serious a speed to do 60 on a 30-mile-per-hour speed limit. Y'all need to chill. But yeah, and then there's the Neo Geo, which a lot of people didn't own because that bitch was expensive. You paying like upwards of 600, and then games alone were like 200 stacks each. So, yeah. Let's see, can I pass this bus? I think I can. But yeah, back then, man, that was gaming. That was back when people had die-hard allegiances. You know, Sega had the Genesis does with Nintendo. I mean, the clapbacks were so serious. It was worse than you know, the Wendy's Twitter. But, you know, and that's all the same. You know, I'm gonna circle that back around to my point. You know, Sega hasn't been able to make a decent Sonic game in a number of years, and this game came out, you know, well, actually technically it's not even out to the public yet, but you know, there's a lot of people that got early copies, especially if you ordered it on Amazon. You probably got an early release of it. You know, there's a lot of people that got it and says the joint is fire, you know, and I can't argue that, because it's going back to the retro style of what Sonic was, like the look of what it was from Sonic CD or Sonic 3. It's that retro look that we've kind of been wanting that for a while now. I mean, you know, arguably there's some people that may not feel that type of design, and you know, more power to them. Yo, y'all wild in these streets right now. Come on, man, move that fuck out the way, move that ass. Anyway, it's got that nice retro look, because I mean, think about it. Retro's kind of in. It's been in ever since I want to say the mid 2004 and on. You know, ever since Cave Story, the retro look. You know, and Biden and Isaac. That's been something that's really been pushed, especially hard by Nicholas and or Nicholas, however you say the company's name. And we've had a lot of people make successful comebacks with it. Like Capcom made Mega Man, was it 9 and 10 in a retro style. You had Bionic Commando, even though it wasn't in retro look, it was retro gameplay. So I mean, there's a huge market for retro style gaming. And to come back in the old form, Sonic Mania is really catering towards the generation that grew up with that, but also introducing the newer generation to something that they probably don't know anything about, or they probably weren't born or weren't even a thought when it did come out. And that's cool. That's good that we've got people, you know, Sega's trying to do that. Apparently the gameplay is a hit. You know, people really, I've heard nothing but rave reviews about it, so it's something I'm definitely looking forward to getting. I need to get my hands on that collector's edition, I know that. because the collector's edition has the Sonic statue with the retro looking Sega Genesis, and it comes in this big box. And I definitely need to get some shelves up in my place because yeah, your boy has a lot of collector's edition items, and unfortunately I do not have any of them joints on display because they're sitting up in a closet, well, several closets actually, and you know, I just don't have the room for them. But I just wanted to say in this episode of JOYRYDE, because I've said a lot of things beyond probably, I don't know, some people who don't have the attention span probably have tuned out, but I just wanted to say, you know, I'm happy for Sega. I'm happy that they're making this kind of a comeback. It's definitely needed, you know, to see Sonic back on his former glory. Yes, I pulled up in somebody's parking lot because, you know, I got something to say to y'all. It's good to see Sonic come back in this old form because it needed to happen. We needed Sonic back. You know, there's a lot of platformers coming back. We got Bubsy, of all people, of all platformers, of all games to come back. We got Bubsy, and it looks really good. I'm not gonna lie, from what it was. I know Bubsy was not really that popular back in the day, but I welcome the return of platformers because that's something I grew up on, was platformers, and that's something I feel has always been a good market, especially for the younger gamers. And there's a lot of games that are coming out now that are just too fucking complicated. I just wanted to say that, man. There's a lot of games where I feel like I gotta sit through a 2 or 3 hour tutorial and I'm like, fuck this game. I don't care if you say this game is amazing. I don't have this kind of time to sit and just play this bitch because I got work, I got school, I got, you know, all kinds of other things going on, and I don't have the time to sit and play that. I don't have the time to sit and learn a system, you know. And too many games, there's so many great games that have come out that I would love to play, but it's just, I don't have that kind of time. And I'm glad to see games that don't rest on overly complicated systems and tutorials, and it's just pick up and play. And I'm glad this is on the Switch, which I think is the perfect platform for it, which will probably sell the most copies will be on the Switch because it's portable and it's just, it's gonna be amazing. You know, that's where I feel like all publishers really need to funnel towards the Switch because it's finally, I mean, that's where it's gonna be at, in my opinion. Anyway, so enough of this rambling. This has been another episode of JOYRYDE. I know it's been a long minute since I've done one. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you didn't, I told y'all can suck the left black nutsack. And other than that, for y'all who did enjoy it, thank you. Definitely give us a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel, and yeah, we got a couple giveaways going away. You know, I got the Splatoon 2 and the Pro Controller giveaway. I got the Nintendo Switch giveaway, as well as the Tekken one, which I'll have another video announcing that. So, catch y'all on the next one. Deuces Wild. It's your boy McKell Casanova signing out on another episode of JOYRYDE. Catch y'all on the next one.